So this is a sewing machine. Okay, it says do not touch the sewing machine without permission. It tells you what's inside the sewing machine on the checklist and how to thread it off. Thread it if the thread comes off. It says do not lose any parts, do not break any parts, do not misuse the sewing machine. I'll explain that during this video. Okay, please leave setup. Now when you have permission, you just need to take this off. Okay, and hopefully the sewing machine is all set up. So I'm going to start around here. So on this side of the sewing machine, you can see there is an on and off button. Okay, this is where it's plugged in. You can see this is the wheel that makes the needle go up and down manually. You might be able to see that going up and down there manually. Okay. This is the stitch selector. So if you turn this, okay, you can see that the red dot moves along these stitches, okay? But we're gonna, for the point of seams, the seams are always using the straight stitch there. You can see here, there is a reverse button. You must hold this down if you want it to go in reverse, and then take your finger off to make it go forward again. Okay, up here you've got the stitch length, okay, and generally point at 2, and the stitch width, which is at 3, okay. So you don't need to touch these dials at the moment, and you don't need to touch this one, or you will need to use the reverse button, and to get your needle in place, you must always turn this towards you, okay. At the top here, we have this, okay. This is a bobbin winder, and to wind the bobbin you need to just move it along and move it back when you want to sew again. Now if you move this to this side and then pull this out, then the needle will not go up and down at the same time. So I'm going to just push this in and leave this because we're going to use it to sew. So this is where the thread is kept, and the thread needs to go along here, down here. You can see there's a little arrow to help you. It goes up here, and then if I open up this bit here, you can see there's this, which is called the silver arm, and that keeps all your stitches nice and tight. If the thread jumps off the silver arm for any reason, okay, it means that your stitches will all get bunched up. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is this. This is a presser foot. Now to make the presser foot go up and down, there is a lever. Can you see that lever there? It's just at the back of the machine, okay? And you have to put the presser foot down to hold the fabric in place so you can sew. Underneath here, you can see there's teeth, and the teeth are going like this. So moving it backwards so the stitches go forward. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is here. This is a bobbin case and a bobbin cover. Now if you press this, like this, the bobbin cover comes off, and this is the bobbin inside. So if I pick that up. Now when you are sewing, okay, the needle goes up and down like this, up and down, and it creates stitches, but the bobbin catches those stitches to keep the sewed stitches in your fabric tight. So it's like this, goes down, picks up, and brings them through. Okay, so you generally have 2 lots of thread. So you can see there's 2 threads coming out of here. Right, so advice, okay, on the floor you can see there's a pedal. Okay, this is how you press the pedal. Okay, so you gently go like that. Okay, I do not want to see anyone going like this. Okay, you will damage the machine, and if it doesn't work, okay, just put your hand up and ask me to help, and then of course I can help you. So I'm just going to show you. Okay, I'm going to turn the machine on using the button that I showed you. You can see the lights come on. Okay, I have a piece of fabric here so you can see the stitches. Now you can see on this metal plate here there are lots of little measurements, and that's supposed to help you with your seam allowance. So the seam allowance is the edge of the fabric. Okay, so if you can see that's lined up with that line, it means that when I sew, all of my stitches will stay in place. So I put my presser foot down to hold the fabric in place. I put my hand not near the needle. Okay, you can see here there's the hole in the needle, so if it comes out, you pull it down the way I showed you and you put it through the hole. So now I've got my foot gently on my pedal, and if I go like that, it will create some stitches. Now I want my stitches to go backwards, so I press this here, hold it down, and then my stitches will go backwards like that. Okay, you take your hand off and then you can go, keep on going. So it's like tying a knot. Okay, right, so you have a few handouts to do. You're going to name the different areas. Okay, so on here you should be able to see this blue arrow here is pointing towards the silver arm, which keeps your thread tight. This one here is pointing towards the bobbin winder. This here, it calls itself a balance wheel, okay, but it's just manually, you turn it to make the needle go up and down, and you must turn it towards you. Okay, over here, you've got a wheel and it's for the stitch selector. Okay, so you can change it from straight stitch to zigzag. Here you have your reverse button. Okay, and down here you'll see that there is a bobbin, a presser foot and a needle. Remember, you must always have your presser foot down, okay, so it holds your fabric in place and doesn't jump all over the place. Okay, oh, another thing that I didn't show you here is just at the side here, there's a little blade, and that's to rip your thread when it's called a thread ripper. Okay, so here there's a little arrow here that says you should be putting thread ripper. Okay, so I've taken you for a little tour around our sewing machine. Okay, and you will have to fill that out so you know what part of the machine is what. Okay, so I've given you quite a few descriptions. Now, the second thing that you need to do is you're going to have this handout here, and it's got all the things that I have labelled, okay? And this is all about you matching up the letters and the numbers, like the first one here. So the first one's been done for you. It says presser foot, okay? And it says A, this holds the fabric in place so it can go up and down. It goes up and down by using a lever, okay? And you just need to match those up and stick that in your book. Okay, and then last of all, we've got a bit of health and safety. Okay, so I never want to see anyone talking to anyone while they're on the sewing machine, because if they lose concentration, then yes, that needle could go in. Okay, and I've got a good story about that. If you have any questions, please put your hands up and I am happy to help. All right, thank you.